everyone, Kristy Warren here, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction in Plumas County Office of Ed and Unified School District. Wanted to make a short video today to talk about some of the differences we're expecting for distance learning between spring and fall. So based on the feedback that we have heard, we do know that last spring was what we call crisis response teaching. Our teachers did a great job of getting content online and contacting students very quickly. But now that we've had a chance to reflect and learn and do some additional training, we are preparing for robust distance learning in each of the options that are presented for next year. Some of the feedback I heard from last spring was that it was inconsistent. And so while teachers were doing great things, some were creating class websites, some were using Google Classrooms, it was hard for parents to track and support when it was done differently amongst teachers and classes. So we're going to be rolling out a learning management system called Canvas. You'll be hearing more about that in the coming weeks and once school starts, which we really do think will help streamline that process and provide more consistency for students and parents. Additionally, last spring, we had limited new content. And as we went to distance learning, we had to switch very rapidly and quickly, and it was supplemental, if you remember that. So the content wasn't required to be done. And so teachers couldn't continue on with their grade level standards as they typically would. So next fall, that will be different. And at the start of the school year, any distance learning will continue with grade level expectations as we typically would. Another change will be in our grading system. If you remember last spring, it was a hold harmless, so your grade couldn't go down based on what you had prior to the school closure with COVID. Next fall, it's back to grading as usual with supports that the schools provide, and you can expect regular A through F grading for our 4th grade and up, and a regular report card and grading system for K through 3 to report on feedback as well. And lastly, accountability. Last spring, attendance wasn't necessarily required, although it was documented and tracked to provide student supports and contact. It will be very different this fall in that we are required to report out on attendance for students daily for in-person instruction and daily for distance learning instruction. And so that will be based on work completion as well as in-person instruction. So we do expect to see some differences next year in each of these 3 models that have been presented for any element of distance learning. Here's my contact information if you'd like to get in touch. If you have questions or follow-up, please don't hesitate to reach out. And until next time, we will talk to you soon.